In this problem, we're going to analyze two sets of data to determine which is a linear function and which is a quadratic function. On our smartboard interactive whiteboard, we've got our two sets of data displayed. We've got set A and set B. For these two sets of data, we want to draw a scatter diagram of each set of data and then determine which is linear and which is quadratic. For the linear data, we also want to show whether the relation has a positive or negative slope. And for the quadratic relation, we want to tell whether the graph would be open, up, or down. Once we've identified the linear set, we want to find the line of best fit. And then once we've identified the quadratic set, we want to find the quadratic function of best fit. And we're going to do our scatter diagrams and our line and quadratic function of best fit using our TI Smart View. So we come to our TI Smart View. We need to enter the data into our calculator. So we'll press Stat, and we need Edit. So we'll press Enter. That brings up our list 1, 2, and 3 where we'll enter our data. Now we already have our data entered. If we go back to our data set, you can see that the X values for both sets A and B are the same. We just need different lists for our Y values. So we've entered our X values in list 1. We've entered the Y values for set A in list 2. And we've entered the Y values for set B in list 3. We want to make a scatter diagram for set A. To make a scatter diagram, we're going to use our stat plot feature. That's a second function on our y=2 key. So we'll press second and y=2. That brings up our stat plot menu. We'll just use plot number 1. Right now we see that plot 1 is turned off. We'll press enter to turn that on. The type is scatter diagram, which is the first one. It's already highlighted, so we're fine there. We need to tell it the X list. We put our X values in list 1, so we're okay there. And for the Y list, for set A, we put our Y values in list 2, so we're okay with this. The mark is just what the graph is going to plot for each data point. We'll use the boxes because they're a little easier to see. Since our graph is ready, we'll just hit Graph. And we see a couple of data points, but it's not really quite what we want. We don't see all our data values. Rather than adjust the window settings ourselves, we can use our zoom feature. We go to the zoom menu and scroll down to number 9. Number 9 is zoom stat. If we do zoom 9, it will automatically adjust the window settings to fit the data that we have. From our scatter diagram, we can see that the data for set A appears to be linear. And since the points go down as we read from left to right, we say that this linear function has a negative slope. To make our scatter diagram for set B, we go back to our stat plot menu. We'll do plot number 1 again. It's already turned on. We've got the right type. Our X list, remember, is the same, L1. But we do need to change our Y list. We stored the Y values for set B in list 3. So we'll come down to the Y list. And if we notice on our key number 3, up above that it says L3 as a second function. So we'll do second and press 3. And that changes our Y list to L3. Again, we can just hit Graph. We notice that that's not showing us all the points that we need. So we use that zoom 9 feature again. And that gives us a better view of our data. From here we can see that set B appears to be quadratic. Since this curve has a U shape that's open up, we say that the quadratic function is going to be open up. Now that we've determined that set A is linear and set B is quadratic, we need to find the line of best fit for set A and the quadratic function of best fit for set B. To do that, we go back to our calculator and we're going to press Stat. This time we're going to move over to Calc. We're going to use the regression feature of our calculator. We'll use option number 4 to find the line of best fit. So we'll use linreg AX plus B. And for our quadratic function of best fit, we're going to use quadreg. So we'll do set A first. So we'll do our line of best fit. We need to tell it where the data is. We had our X values in list 1, so we'll do second L1, comma, and the Y values were in L2. So second L2, and we'll hit enter. See our model y=ax plus b, that's our linear model. We get our coefficients a and b. Drag that over here. So for part B, where we're asked to find the line of best fit for our linear data, you can see that our line of best fit will be y equal to negative 4.23x minus 2.36. Next, we're going to find our quadratic function of best fit for set B. Go back to our calculator, press stat, move over to calc. This time we want option number 5. We can just press number 5. Now this says quadrag, again asking for where the data is. The x values were in list 1. But this time the y values are in list 3. So we need to say second L3, hit enter. Again, we have our quadratic function, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, and our coefficients for a, b, and c. Drag that. So for part C, we're asked to find the quadratic function of best fit. This is for our data set B. Our model will be y equals 1.99 x squared plus 0.29x and then plus 2.50.